Lights, camera, action. Let's start the show. Here's a little bit of wedding advice to me to help your love story unfold. This is your wedding series, and we are planning your wedding from age 14-year-old you to the age in which you get engaged. I'm your content creator, and I've been to lots and lots and lots of weddings. And there's some things that I've seen that have gone really amazing, and some things that I think that could have been done much better. So this is my advice. Take it with a grain of salt. You don't have to take all of my advice, but here's some guidance, some tips, and things like that. We are in season 3, and today is episode 5. Now, if you need to catch up in season 1, where we talked about how to be more financially successful to prepare you for marriage and the wedding day, please go back and listen to season 1. And in season 2 is where you got engaged and we started to plan your wedding from the proposal on. But now we are in season 3, episode 5. And today's topic is the vision board check-in and finalizing that guest list. Many people don't have trouble starting a vision board, a mood board, a mock-up of everything that they're gonna have for their wedding, or even just for their life in general. People have these vision boards, mood boards, and they start off like so great, right? You're like, oh, I'm so motivated. I can't wait. This is exciting. You've got this blank slate in front of you. And then you start putting things on it. And as time goes by, you look at it less and less. And you're like, I don't know. I'll work on it tomorrow. I'll work on it this weekend. And then you look up and you haven't worked on it again since the day that you started on that very first picture that you put up there or word that you put on your board. And so today we're talking about your vision board check-in, your mood board, as well as finalizing your guest list. I feel like your guest list is another one of those things that people can start, but take their time in finishing. And so it's important that these things are not left behind when it comes to your wedding planning. So let's first talk about this guest list and get it finalized. We just have to do it, okay? So you want to make sure that when it comes to something that's final, this is it. This is the people that you are inviting. Now you may have a backup guest list, meaning once all of your invites come in for the RSVPs, whether they're saying yes or no, you may have a backup guest list of people that you really wanted to invite, but didn't have enough room, enough table room, enough food to invite them. And so now you want to reach out to that guest list second, right? So you may have 2 guest lists. You may have a final guest list of this is the main count. This is the main people that we want to invite first. Then you want to have a second guest list. And these people, it's nothing bad. It's just that you just didn't have enough room to invite that extended cousin or that extended family member or, people at your job and things like that you are maybe close to, them, but maybe you don't know them as well as the people on your main guest list. You guys know what I'm getting at here, but you do care about these people, and it's not like they were second best. It's just that you only have so much food that you can, give, and you only have so many chairs that people can be seated at. Weddings are expensive. So those are the 2 main things that you're paying for at a wedding is, the food count, the beverage count, and that cake size. So, and of course, we talked about before the flowers. We can't forget those are very expensive, but that doesn't have anything to do with your guest list. So you want to make sure that you sit down and you finalize this guest list at this point. We've been planning your wedding step by step, so I'm trying to keep you guys on track and not get out of order. If there are things that you feel like I could touch on or add to our planning, feel free to reach out to me in the comments or by email, and I will figure out if I want to incorporate them or not. But this is our wedding planning guide together. So if you feel like there is something seriously that could be added, please do. Please reach out if it's a serious inquiry, okay? And so if you are looking at your guest list and you feel like this is it, I'm done, there's no one else I need to add, there's no one else I need to take away, this is good to go for me, then okay, don't stress about it. You're good to go. You've now finalized your guest list. You can check that off the things to do for your wedding and inside of your wedding notebook and on your task board. Remember, we have a task board that we created in season 2 for anyone that's like, wow, I don't know all these things she's talking about. Go back and look at season 2. I talked about the 8 must-haves to keep you organized during your wedding, okay? During your wedding planning. So you've now checked off your guest list. You finalize that. Now let's look at this vision board or mood board. Let's check in on that. What are some things that you could have on your mood board? It's going to be the theme of your wedding, the overall aesthetic of your wedding, the style of your wedding, attire inspo for you as the couple, and attire inspo inspiration, outfit inspiration for your guest. So this is looking at your wedding day in general. You may have a mood board that's also for your upcoming bachelorette, your bridesmaids proposal brunch, your bridal shower, wedding shower, rehearsal dinner. You may also have some info for those as well, like some mood boards for those. So you can also be looking at those too when we're talking about theme, aesthetic, and outfit attire inspo. Okay, so it doesn't just have to be for the wedding day ceremony and reception themselves. It's important to look at this because you want to get a clear picture of what you are envisioning for your wedding. That's why this is a vision board. That's why it's a mood board. It puts you in the mood for continuing on to plan your wedding. Now, your mood board can look different ways. Like I told you guys, just go out and get some poster board, get some cardboard, and start crafting in your craft corner, your DIY craft corner for your wedding. I told you to pick a space in your home that you could do that, right? That gives you motivation to get excited to craft, right? To look at these things. And especially if you are a DIY bride, this is important if you did not get a wedding planner. I mean, even if you get one, you still need a vision board, a mood board. You need something that starts showing you, okay, this is what we have in mind. And this is so cool because we're going to be running with these ideas of these kind of flowers. You know, you've got those on your board. You've got the type of linens that you want on your table. Do you want bows on the back of your chairs? Do you just want those chair cloths on your chairs? Do you not want any cloths at all on your chairs? Do you want them to just be bare and just show the pretty design if they're really designed well? You know, it's all up to you when it comes to your theme, aesthetic, and style, but it is really fun to get those ideas down on the board. Now, when it comes to the guest attire, keep in mind that not everybody has tons of money. So you're just giving them inspiration. This is just your idea of what you would like for your guests to wear to your wedding. Now, what did I talk about before when it came to this? If you don't tell them the theme, aesthetic, the style that you're going for, if you don't give them some form of outfit inspo, trust me, they are going to be trying to figure it out on their own. They're going to be looking at things whenever you start sending out the save the date and the invitation and being like, oh, are they going with this style? Like this wedding venue has a lot of greenery and, you know, it's next to a body of water. It's next to a beach or a lake or whatever. And so they're going to try to like match their outfit to that. Now, if you chose that location because it was peaceful and it's all going to be black tie, well, guess what? That's not going to really match with, you know, a beach themed wedding or, you know, a green forest wedding. People aren't going to be thinking like, wow, we're really, really dressing up. I mean, you can dress up for any themed, you know, any backdrop. You can dress up with black tie, But not everyone is going to go to that first. They might think of like, oh, maybe they're doing business casual, or maybe they're doing some kind of tropical theme. We can just wear our florals. We can wear our bright colors, whatever. But if you wanted them to wear a black tie and really long, like, gowns and stuff, that, floor length gowns, then that's not going to really match with what, they're thinking about whenever they're trying to, piece it all together and figure it out on their own. So it's important for you to give them some kind of inspo. Let them know this is just inspiration. You don't have to wear this if you don't want to wear this. I saw a really, really gorgeous wedding that was at a theater. So an actual theater where they do plays. The couple had rented this theater out for their wedding. And it was so beautiful. Oh my goodness. It was so beautiful. So everything in this theater was red. It had red carpet. It had red walls. The stage was red. It was just red. And then it had like that wood tones all over the place. I mean, my favorite color is red. So I was like, this is absolutely gorgeous. Well, the couple decided to have everybody in black tie, but the theme was red and black. So you could wear all red or you could wear all black. Wow, that's amazing. And you see, they let their guests know that ahead of time. And so that's what you would be adding to your vision board, is what you kind of see them wearing in those colors, in those themes, because there's just so much to choose from when it comes to your wedding. It's another big party. It's another huge party, but it's an amazing, big, huge party that most people, this is the only one that they ever get to have something like this. Most people don't even have a grand 10-year, 20-year, 30, 40, and 50-year anniversaries, all the huge anniversary dates, years. Most people don't even get to have anything big for that. So your wedding, you go all out. That's what a lot of people do. They go all out. And I mean, there are some people who are very simple, and they're going all out is keeping it simple, and that's okay too. But you still want to have a vision for that day. I know that we have been to a wedding before where everybody else was like super dressed up in the family, but we were the only friends invited. And as the only friends invited, I guess we didn't get the memo, because most of the time the family is the most dressed at a wedding. You go to weddings, you're going to see the family, they definitely get the memo. They know all the theme, inspirations, aesthetic, and all that of the wedding. And so they get to show up in that style, and they dress to the nine, right? But then the wedding guests, it's like, why they get to show up looking bobo? Like, why didn't anybody tell them that this was the theme, this was the style that, the couple was going for? And so I don't want your guests to be left out. I know you guys hear me ponder on this a lot with the guests, and that's why, because I think it's really weird to show up to weddings and the family is like so perfect, and then the guests, like, we really stood out because there was only two of us. But I've gone to weddings where it's like, wow, that's terrible, where it's like the wedding party and the family looked so super amazing, but then the wedding guests were in just like very casual wear, and it just looks like they're attending two different events at that point. So you don't want that to happen at your wedding, unless you do. I mean, okay, but I would hope that that's not what you would want at your wedding. So get to finalizing that mood board. This is your chance to do it right now. Sit down and get that mood board finalized, get that guest list finalized so that you can check this off the list, okay? And just go down and look at those things, like I said, the theme, aesthetic, the style, and the outfit, attire, inspo for the wedding as a whole. And then if you want, you can look at more than just a ceremony or reception. You can also look at your other wedding events that you have that are coming up as well, okay? All right, you guys, so we have the part of our segment called Be Our Guest. So be my guest. We are at the segment where I would love for you to be on your wedding series podcast. I would love to have you on the show. I want to hear your thoughts on how your vision board went, your mood board, finalizing your guest list. How did it all work out for you? Is it going well if you're planning your wedding right now? And, do you think that it helped? Do you think that the vision board, the mood board helped? Do you think that it was a good idea to finalize your guest list before you just started randomly sending out invites? I want to hear from you. I want to have you on the show. I want to interview you. And the way that you do that is by sending me an email to get the conversation started. Then I'm going to record it on a video call together, you and I. And then I'm going to put it on the platform here on YouTube. So we'll get to share it with the rest of the world and other couples who are planning their wedding. Okay? Other couples who are planning their wedding will get to hear from you as a wedding couple on how it's either going or how it went during the planning stages. Okay. You can do that by sending me an email at yourcontentcreator@yahoo.com. And guess what, lovebirds? You know what I'm about to say. That is the end of our episode today. I will see y'all in the next one. Bye, lovebirds.
Lights, camera, action, baby, strike a pose. Phones and cameras out, just watch it all unfold. We're the stars of the show, ain't no need for filters. Living life through the lens, capturing our breath. Put away your phones and cameras, let the good times roll. Our content creators got it all under control. From weddings to events, parties, travel and brands, we're living the paparazzi life. It's all in our hands. Lights, camera, action, we're ready to go. We're professionals, don't you already know? From TikTok to Instagram, we're taking the lead. Content creator, we're planting the seed. Get ready for the social media explosion.